Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we're going to be looking at an Unreal Engine powered character creator, and no, it's not MetaHumans. Today what we're looking at is Reblium. Now Reblium is definitely in development. I've had some issues with it. I don't think this is ready for prime time. My exports have definitely had some issues, as we probably will see during this video, but there's also a lot of potential with this one. What you see in front of you, this is Reblium. Right now it shows you can log into your account, but in fact I have no idea how you could actually create an account. It doesn't seem to be a thing. Instead what you're going to want to do is come on in here and just check out the demo. Now this guy is a lot like MetaHumans. The big difference is it runs entirely on your local computer. As you see here, you've got two ways of going about things. You can use AI, basically tell it with a description how you'd like your avatar to be created, but instead what I'm going to do is artistic mode. So this is basically just like a character creator in most video games. So what you're going to see here, you've got a variety of different options. A lot of them are very fantastical to start with. I'm going to try and create a character that could actually exist in the real world, because normally when I do this stuff, I create horror shows. I'm trying not to create a horror show today. Another thing you're going to notice here is you can come up here and you can do a file and import. So you can import in a base mesh. Theoretically, you can scan your own head. You're going to find in general that a lot of these things, for example, these just do almost nothing. You can't save out your project. So no ability to save your avatar, and you can export. We'll get back to it, but I would not expect the export to be wonderful. We'll see how it actually works out when we're done. Just to be aware, this is very much a beta product at this point in time. We also have over here a variety of settings. Again, you can set the quality of your render over here. You can see an idea of how fast it's rendering over here. You can change the resolution using this drop down. This is a wonky application when it comes to resolution, and trying to record the damn thing has proven to be a nightmare, so I'm not going to touch that at all. We also have a lot of hookups for external for later on. These don't seem to be doing anything as of yet, but you could hook it up to like NVIDIA's Omniverse for device interchange and that kind of thing. You could pick the resolution of your textures over here, which LOD level eventually. You can also set up what kind of blend shapes you want to use, grooming setup, and eventually you should be able to choose OBJ, USD, or GLTF, but right now you are stuck with FBX, and that is it. So here you got your character. You start here with your base, pick your base blend mesh over here, and then we go on over to skin. So skin, you can start by picking a skin type over here, a variety of different options available, or what we can actually do is drag, say, that guy and that guy right there, and then we can blend between the two like this. Again, if you ever created a character in a video game, you've got the ability to use this guy. You also control the tan from like porcelain doll scary as hell. Again, I'm not going to create something like that today. To much darker skin tones there, to like, we'll stay here. You can also control the age, so you can see the amount of wrinkling changes on here. You can also change the masculinity or the amount of male on it, but the funny thing is, all I find is this adds a mole. That's the only difference I've noticed. So apparently men have a mole, women do not. You got control again over a number of different things here. So you could have freckles on your character and so on. And that is it. You create your face this way, very straightforward. Then we move on to makeup. Again, this is one of those areas where I could very easily create a horror show. So if you want to do, your Star Wars Queen look here, you can. Straight up makeup over here. You could set the color of it down here, obviously. Then you can change the glossiness of it. Over here, the opacity, gloss, and so on. Or you can just basically straight out randomize, random pick, and so on. So we'll stick with that. Again, try not to make a horror story. Eyeshadow, you can set the eyeshadow effects, the face paint, again, so you're gonna just full-on horror show here. So I could do a murderous clown, and what you'll notice here is there's actually literally blood spatter on that mime's paint. Number of different full face things, especially if you're dealing a little bit more sci-fi world. You've got a number of different options. You can go the avatar look here, and so on. Again, trying not to create a monster today, so I'm going to go with nothing. So there we go, our option right there. A number of makeup options there. Again, you can also even change out their eyes. So you can have like more of a cyberpunk effect over here, or I can even go down over here and do something like snake eyes. If I want to make it, you know what, that's fine. That's not monstrous. We'll stick with snake eyes here. And then you go into the hair. Now the hair is actually pretty cool. So you got a number of different options for hair. So for example, this one right here we could go with, and we can actually pick two colors. So we could have a second color there, and you can blend between the root and the highlight color easily enough there. You can also trim the hair. You'll see the immediate effects of that. Quite extreme to less extreme and so on. And you can come down here, you can actually change the hair card out completely and have completely different hairstyles, like so. And there. So a number of different options when it comes to hair. I'm going to go back to this one right here. So there, you also have control over the eyebrows, a number of different settings and options there. And the melanin effect of it. Eyelashes, controls over the eyelashes here. We could give her a mustache. I'm not going to, at least not for long, but I want to show you this. This is actually kind of funny. There is physics on the mustache, so if I whip her head around, the mustache, so Samity Sam here, yeah, does that. And we'd also change the level of said mustache right there. I can blend it between two different colors if we wish. But what I'm going to do is, again, not that. So there, we've done that. You go from, once you've got the hair and the facial hair, etc., all set, then you get into sculpting. This is where you do your fine-tune controls over each individual aspect. So you see here, eyes, nose, and so on. So we could basically just change the eye size. If we want to go a little bit more anime on that, we can do that right there. You can change the ultimate style of the eye right there. Then we can control things like the nose, so the size of the nose, the mouth, again, the size of the mouth, like so. Cheeks, neck, teeth. So you can see the various different teeth style here. You'll notice right now you can't see the mouth because we're in a neutral pose. But what we could do is come here and show inside of the mouth. So we can go over here. I think that's... there we go. So there we got a little bit more Dracula going on. I'm fine with that. I'm not monster yet, just maybe it's sort of semi-monster. And then we come in, we can control the wardrobe. By the way, sculpting also has control for the entire body. So you come here, you can change the neck. By the way, you have full camera control at any time you wish. So if we want to change the height, we can change her height. I guess if I zoom out, you'll see that a little bit better. So here's our full character. We can change her overall height here, our weight, muscularity, and so on. And then arm length, and so on. Then we move on to wardrobe, number of different common outfits. Not a lot you could do with them, not a lot of settings going on here, but you can pick various different wardrobes to work with, and we'll go with the fantasy theme one right here, and we'll go back to sad, because that was looking, actually I'm going to go back to neutral, because not anger, neutral. All right, there we go. And I need to go back to scalp, and let's close that mouth up a bit, because that's a little disconcerting. So, mouth openness. Where did mouth openness go? I thought it was right here. But I don't see where the open part came in. Okay, I forgot where I put that. So it definitely was one of those things. We'll go with that. We'll leave her as she is right now, looking a little bewildered with the world. So really all you have control over is the full body outfit like so. And you've also got down here, you can set footwear that goes with it. Some of them play well with some things and some things don't. Another thing you'll notice here is you've got, in addition to the neutral pose that we've got going on, you also have a variety of different animations you can preview on your character, such as female walk, male walk, and R pose. Then we've got here just standing idle pose right here, side-to-side wave, and so on. So there are a number of different options here for how your character can actually walk. I don't know how much of those are going to be supported on the final version in terms of exporting, but you can see how your character performs that way. And then, of course, you got control over the lighting. I find most of these are too dark to be of use. Really, there's that first one, and then this one. I think everything else is too dark, from at least in my humble opinion. Finally, you get into accessories. So, for example, we could add a hat. I find the hats clip through the hair for a lot of them, or just completely remove the hair, depending on which style of hair you're actually using. So I'm going to stick with hair for her. You can also go ahead and add some glasses if you so wish to do so. I add some earrings on as well. So let's just add a quick dangling earring there. You can add a piercing if you wish to as well. And then your character is pretty much done. Scenes and props doesn't have anything in it. It seems to be a placeholder for somewhere in the future. But that is how you would go about defining and creating your character. Or you do it this way and basically use the generator, quick set of various different settings here. So Asian, Indian, Afro, Arabic, and so on. And then you can actually have it for the prompt where you describe exactly what you want to create. I haven't had good luck with it, but if you want to do it that route, you can go that way as well. And then once you are done, in theory, and this is where it gets a little wonky right now, you can export it out as an FBX. I'll go ahead and drop this on my desktop, and let's see what we get. Generally, my experience hasn't been super great with what the quality of the export is, but let us see. So that is now exported out. It is now available right here. So I do have a previous one. If this one is a horror show, and one thing I find is I don't seem to be getting clothing, and this isn't going to import with the texture anyways, because it's not, basically I have to create it myself. But you'll notice here the body is actually coming out as nude. So one of those things you definitely want to be aware of. Right now, the texture export isn't perfect. The face and teeth seem to be working just fine. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how our results work. So again, I've had this go from being not bad to absolutely and utterly useless. So let's find out. We will sacrifice a default cube like so. We will go ahead, File, Import, FBX. Do remember, FBX is the only option available right now. So let's go ahead and import that in. And how did it do? It did pretty good. So again, what you're going to notice here is the head has no hair, so the hair is not out yet. The animation is not in place. And if I apply the textures on this guy, if I went through the work, you're going to notice, again, just by looking at the textures that it made available, it's got the skin and face stuff here. Skin and face all got created just fine, but your actual outfit, no. Not so much. So again, this isn't ready for prime time. The export is a work in progress, certainly, but you can get an idea of where this is ultimately going. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Reblium, available at Reblium.com. By the way, this is it. This is all you have for information on it. Every one of these links basically just links to somewhere down in this page. So that's the extent of the information that's available. There is an open beta, which is what we're seeing in action right now. The open beta is about 7 gigabytes in size, requires an NVIDIA 2080 or better. If you're wondering, I've been running this on a 4090 mobile GPU in terms of what kind of performance you can expect. And you'll see over here, you can see like the frame rate that I'm getting at the ultra settings, 60, 70 frames per second with video recording going. So that's kind of the idea of what to expect from it. That is Reblium. Again, there's a little bit of jank in there. There's definitely some features under development. But as a character creator goes, there is some potential here. This could be a competitor to the likes of, well, obviously MetaHumans, just run locally, or say Character Creator, etc. The problem that they've got is those programs already exist and do it very well. So they need to bring something new to the table. Part of it obviously is going to be the generators, the AI side of creation, I guess. And itself, it's an easy, straightforward process. I didn't find anything overwhelmingly challenging. Okay, I created a monster at the last minute. But yeah, it's if you can create a character using a video game creator, you can create one using this tool as well. And the results, not bad, but definitely a tool under development. So let me know what you think of Reblium. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.